The movie starts with Shrek just chilling on a toilet, reading a fairy tale. But instead of getting all emotional and sappy, he just rips out a page and uses it as a toilet paper. Right from the start, you know this isn't going to be your typical fairy tale. He's living peacefully in his swamp, minding his own business, when a bunch of villagers show up, ready to hunt him down for a reward. They're terrified, but instead of a huge battle, Shrek just roars at them and they run for their lives, dropping a wanted poster behind. The poster offers a bounty for capturing fairy tale creatures, but he doesn't really care. He just wants to be left alone and he wants to go back to his night. Donkey is stuck in a fairy tale market, about to be sold off by his owner. Just when things look hopeless, Donkey makes a run for it, dodging guards like a pro and crashes straight into Shrek. The guards follow him, they take one look at Shrek, and that's it. They back off and run back. Shrek tries to shake Donkey off, but he just sticks around, talking non-stop and chewing his ear off. Reluctantly, he lets him stay one night in his swamp, but things get worse fast. Shrek's swamp is suddenly packed with fairy tale creatures, and they're not just camping out, they're wrecking his place, tearing up his yard and making a total mess. Fed up with this, Shrek decides to confront Lord Farquaad himself, and fed up by this mess, Shrek decides to confront him by himself while Donkey tags along. Meanwhile, over in Duologue, short, mean, reeking of incel energy and loving every second of his power, Lord Farquaad is busy interrogating the innocent gingerbread man, trying to find the magic mirror. After some enthusiastic questioning, one of the guards finally tracks it down. He wastes no time. The mirror fires up and shows him three options for brides: Cinderella, Snow White, and Princess Fiona. He immediately locks onto Fiona. That's the girl that's going to be his queen. He makes up a plan to host a tournament and find a knight that will be brave enough to bring Fiona back to him from a dragon-guarded, lava-surrounding castle. Meanwhile, Shrek and Donkey finally roll into Duologue. And what do they stumble upon? Yup, the tournament. Shrek's definitely not your classic knight in shining armor type, but here they are. The mission's simple. Rescue Fiona from the lava-surrounded, dragon-protected castle so that this short king can get his crown. This is a classic fairy tale drama, but with a big twist coming up. Of course, Shrek and Donkey are playing by their own rules and they absolutely crush the competition. These two are total underdogs. They didn't sign up to be heroes. All they wanted was the swamp back. But somehow, here they are, winning the tournament and surprising everyone. After wiping the floor with knights, Farquaad offers Shrek a deal: rescue Fiona and get his swamp back. Just like that, Shrek has a new mission. They get to the castle and it looks like something out of a nightmare. Surrounded by bubbling lava with only one way in, a rickety wooden bridge that sways and creaks with every step. Inside, it's even worse. It's a dark, creepy, and with the floors littered with old bones, probably from the last people who tried to get in. A haunted house meets a fortress, and you can't shake that feeling that something's always watching. They split up to search, and of course, guess who gets into trouble? Donkey. Sure enough, he comes face to face with a fire-breathing dragon. And surprise, surprise, it turns out the dragon's a female. Donkey is about to have a very interesting, unique encounter. Meanwhile, Shrek's doing exactly what he set out to do: rescue Fiona. But don't expect any fairy tale hero moments. There's no white horse, no grand speeches, and definitely no romantic gestures. It's just Shrek in his knight disguise getting straight to the point. She's expecting a charming hero to sweep her off her feet. But instead, she gets a big, green, grumpy ogre who's more focused on getting out of there than making any grand gestures. It's a perfect moment because unlike your usual fairy tale, Shrek isn't trying to be anything that he's not. He's just getting the job done. Before they leave, Shrek realizes that Donkey has got up the dragon's attention. It's hilarious, but definitely not helping with the rescue mission. Shrek has to pull Donkey out of there, and that does not sit well with the dragon. It creates this big chaos, and they barely escape. Fiona's all excited to be rescued. I mean, she's been locked away for years, so of course she's ready for that change. But the second she sees Shrek and realizes he's an ogre, yeah, that excitement turns into disgust real quick. It's like a punch to the gut, and you can really feel for Shrek. I mean, he just did this huge thing, and she's instantly turned off by his looks. It's a raw moment though, because it shows how quick people are to judge us based on our appearances, and how easily it is to overlook someone's heart just because how they look. Against her protests of just sitting there and waiting for Lord Farquaad to rescue her himself, Shrek picks her up and starts marching towards Duloc. As night falls, Fiona suddenly flips out, demanding that they stop for the night. They find a cave and she insists on sleeping alone. Something feels off, really off, but she's not letting anything on. They are suspicious, but Fiona is determined to stay distant. Meanwhile, Shrek and Donkey decide to sleep under the stars, talking about their miserable, lonely childhoods and their tough lives. It's a quiet bonding moment that strengthens their friendship, turning it into something deeper and more loyal. The next morning, things feel different. Fiona surprisingly gets up early and starts making breakfast. It's strange, but in a way, it's oddly charming. Shrek watches, a little confused but curious as she cooks like it's the most normal thing in the world. They're not arguing anymore, and instead, they start bonding and there's a good friendship brewing. They continue on their journey, and suddenly, out of nowhere, they're ambushed by Robin Hood and his overly theatrical merry men. They think they're saving Fiona from the evil, ugly ogre. But Fiona doesn't need saving. She flips the situation completely, taking down the whole squad, spinning kicks and flips and a total beatdown. Shrek and Donkey are just standing there wide-eyed, thinking, okay, wow, this is chaotic, this is hilarious, and honestly, pretty satisfying. After a day of bonding, the group decides to set up camp near an old windmill. She quietly sneaks away, but Donkey, being his curious self, hears some strange sounds and decides to check on her. What he finds is a total game changer. Inside, she isn't the same princess that they've been traveling with. She's transformed into a green ogre. Yup. So turns out Fiona's been under a secret curse ever since she was a child. And that was why she was locked away in the tower in the first place. But the only way to break it? True love's kiss. But until now, no one's seen this side of her, and Donkey's definitely shocked. But more than anything, he just wants to understand. This is where the story takes a quiet gut punch. The Shrek is walking up to the windmill and he overhears Fiona talking to Donkey at the worst possible moment. He only hears the part of a conversation just enough to think that she is calling him ugly. He doesn't know about the curse and he doesn't realize that she's talking about herself. It hit hard. All that confidence and grumpiness Shrek usually hides behind, it's gone. He doesn't yell, he doesn't fight. He just shuts down, disappointed and hurt. And for the very first time, we see how deeply Shrek's been hurt by the world that sees him. It's not just her, it's years of feeling unwanted boiled down into one misunderstood moment. It's raw, it's real, and you can't help but feel for him. Fiona begs Donkey to keep her secret just a little longer. She promises she'll tell him herself. But as the morning breaks, everything changes because Lord Farquaad is there with his squad. Shrek's angry with Fiona, but instead of confronting her, he swallows down his feelings and silently walks her back to the castle. Shrek is angry at Fiona, but instead of confronting her, he swallows all his feelings and silently lets her go with her short lord. He's shutting down, building walls around him, brick by brick, and he's convinced it's easier to retreat, to be alone, than to face rejection. And disturbed by all of this, he even has a fight with Donkey. So both of these, they go side by side. Fiona's trapped in her castle, preparing for a wedding she never asked for in the first place to a man she has no idea about. And Shrek, he's in his swamp, all alone, but this time he's not enjoying his isolation. He's drowning in his own silence. They're both too proud to make a move that could fix things. And that is when our star Donkey bursts in. Putting aside the fight between him and Shrek, he just wants the best for his friend. He's frantically shouting that Fiona's about to marry Lord Farquaad. And after a very hot-headed argument, they decide that they will finally go and get Fiona back. But how will they go? Yup, enter Dragon. Dragon swoops in. She's ditched her post at the castle and now she's part of the team. Together, Donkey and Dragon, this cute couple, and Shrek, they are ready to storm the fortress and stop the wedding. It's game time and no one's holding back. They rush into the chapel just before Fiona's about to kiss him, and then the magic happens. The sun dips below the horizon and Fiona's true form is revealed in front of everybody. Fiona transforms into an ogre. The truth is out, and for the first time, she's completely vulnerable. Shrek's just staring at her in awe, and I think that is the moment he decides that he loves her. Also a moment of pure honesty. But Lord Farquaad, oh, he's furious. He orders his guards to take them both down. But then, plot twist. Dragon's had enough. She swoops in and swallows him whole like it's no big deal. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Now Shrek, Fiona and Donkey are standing together, completely unbothered by the chaos around them. The love between them is undeniable and they finally confess it. For the first time, without holding back. The curse starts to break, and for a moment, we all think that Fiona will turn into a human. But no, instead, she stays as a beautiful ogre. At first, it's a shock. In that moment, she realizes the magic was never in the fairy tale transformation. It was always in their love. Imperfect, but perfectly theirs. The two of them have a wedding of their dreams. Inside the heart of Shrek's swamp, surrounded by all of their fairy tale friends. No castles, no royal fanfare, just love, laughter, and a celebration of who they truly are. Together, they create the most perfect version of a happily ever after. And in that moment, they head off to their honeymoon, ready for whatever comes next. So this was the end of the movie. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care and bye.